Good evening and welcome to today's video. So as of right now, I've been thinking up in the good old noggin of mine, like, man, what's a good video idea? And then I was like, what if I just geek out about shit that I enjoyed? So welcome to a new series where I just talk about shit that I enjoy. So welcome to Bigdea's Geek Out, something like that. Work in progress title. If it's different in the video, ooh, my bad. I listen to music like all the time whenever I leave home to go to work, whenever I am studying for like a class assignment or like a test. I always am listening to music. I think a lot of people listen to music. It's a great way to unwind and enjoy yourself during times of stress. However, you also notice that there's also like music behind certain movies, video games, and even commercials. Editor's note. And with that, I think there's been like a lot of music behind commercials. I mean, there was that Grubhub commercial. There was the fucking Reese's Puff rap. There was all of that. But I'm not talking about any old commercial music. I'm talking about the good ass fuck. Probably can't say that. Alright, redo. But I'm not talking about any just fuck. I'm not talking about those kind of commercial songs. I'm talking about the 1987 album Music for Commercials, and then on the side it says Volume 2, or is Volume 12? I think it's Volume 12. Do a little bit of research.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
It says Volume 12. Editor's note. This album is about, I would say, 40 minutes long. It has like 24 tracks on it, all of them from different commercials, and all of them from different companies, such as Psycho, and such as Honda, and what's the other one? All of which culminates into a really great, I would say, fantastic album that demonstrates the real art behind advertisements. Something to really get you going, man, I really need a fucking car right about now. Or damn, I really fucking need that watch. I mean, the album really kicks off with some straight heaters, like Tachikawa and the Psycho series, which is a watch company. The Psycho series is a little off and on sometimes, but trust me, once you get into that rhythm of listening, you go, ooh, this shit's kind of good. I mean, the album starts off with this great song from Tachikawa, which you can really tell is like a music for a commercial. And then we get into this like 5-part like series of songs for the company Psycho, which is a Japanese watch company. And from there, we really just get into straight heaters. But before that, let's talk about the artist. The man who was behind all of this and who like made the entire album is Yasuaki Shimizu. I mean, the man performed Bach on a motherfucking saxophone. That shit is genius. I mean, he may have also like helped arrange and produce a bunch of songs with some city pop artists. But that's not up to me to like judge, even though they're bangers. It's not what we're talking about. We're talking about music for commercials. Reese's Puff, fucking other one. Cut. My man wrote and produced so many songs and albums. I mean, he wrote 6 albums before he made music for commercials. I stuttered. Fuck. I mean, my man has made like so many songs and albums. He made like 6 albums before he got to music for commercials. And on top of that, he had to like write like 24 you know, he had to write like 24 songs for commercials. Well, 23, but I'll explain that once we get into the gritty. Once we get into the album, that's what I mean. Once we get into the album, that's what I'm talking about. He's in his element, and he made a shit ton of albums after that, so, I mean, he's a musical genius. With that, though, let's get into the actual album. I mean, we start off with bangers such as Tashikawa, right? Yeah. Once we're done with Tashikawa, we go into the Psycho series and a bunch of other brands. But it doesn't really hit you that these are good. Like, these are bangers once you get to Psycho 3. I mean, once we get to Psycho 3, it's a beautiful piece of just ambiance. And it's leading up to something. It's leading up to something huge. And you're sitting there and listening to it and you're thinking, how can such a beautiful song be made for a commercial? And then it just cuts. This is what I mean by this is a great album. Because you start to notice that after Psycho 3, you start to notice that goes on more and more. With more and more songs. It just leads up to something and cuts. And without the visual representation, you just have to assume that it's as soon as when the product gets shown and the footage gets spliced. So in the album, there's like a couple of song breaks between the like next commercial for that company. So there'll be like Psycho 1 and a couple like one-shot commercials, and then there'll be Psycho 2. But with the Bridgestone series, it's just Bridgestone 1, Bridgestone 2, Bridgestone 3, Bridgestone 4, Bridgestone 5. And let me just play you a little bit of Bridgestone for a second. And I would just like to go on the record by saying that Bridgestone is a tire company. They make tires. What kind of fucking Michelin Man commercial has that kind of fucking track behind it? Jesus Christ. And it goes without saying that the rest of the Bridgestone songs go around the same. Like, they're all over the place. They're unconventional commercial songs. We're a tire company. But it's weird. Because we go from Psycho 3, this like angelic, dreamlike song, to like that. And it makes you wonder, what is the message that is trying to be played here? Well, joke's on you guys, because I actually know the meaning to all this. It's how like advertisements can drain the works of art that's put into it. Like the Reese's Puff rap, that could have been its own thing with its own beat. And it was wasted on just to get your money for their shit. Crazy, right? I mean, there's like no evidence of like the actual commercials for the songs even existing. For example, like the Psycho series, I've looked up all over the internet for the commercial with those songs. I cannot find it for the life of me. The Bridgestone series, can't find a single piece of it. So I've come to the conclusion that the only reason that we are able to listen to this album and experience this album is because our boy posted it himself. And if it wasn't for him posting it himself, I assume it would have died with a commercial, which does for a lot of those commercial songs. I mean, we won't really like get any like more like commercial songs like that because we have like the Home Depot theme, which is really upsetting because I really enjoy these songs and like they're all really good. Oh, I haven't even gotten to the end yet. So the second to last song is a 9-minute song and it's not a commercial. I know. Fucking who wants a commercial that's 9 minutes? Exactly. I mean, the second to last track is just background music for presentation. Just 9 minutes long of just background music. And then that's when it really hits you. Well, that's when it hit me at least. There's like a ton of craft and art put into background music that gets wasted on just the like smallest things, like commercials and presentations. It's ridiculous. And that's really what the album is trying to show. That creative power can be wasted on the smallest things. And maybe it pops off, maybe it doesn't. All I'm saying is, it makes you think. The last song on the album is Seibu. Seibu being the company in Japan that runs a ton of department stores. It's catchy, it's royal, it gets caught in your head easily. And with that, basically our boy, Yasuaki Shimizu, is basically just telling us, hey, even though you know that it takes artist intent, creativity to make that song, people are still lining up to buy combos right now.